So, a little while back ago, I saw what I thought was perhaps one of the dumbest videos I've ever seen in my life. Or rather, it's a video that has a moral or message that was hilariously stupid that made the rounds. This video made up to the tone of 3.6 million views at the time of making this video. Titled, I asked out 100 girls and got rejected, or something of the other, right? Now, I'm not going to go through all of it, because I don't need to make this point. Instead, let's go through a couple of things. His final tally of yeses to his no's after asking 100 girls was about 19 out of 100. So a little less than 1/5.
They 19% acceptance rate, that's it? Are you serious?
Now I'm going to be 120% honest with you. These results are bloody skewed. You want to know how I know they're skewed? It's because there was a whole ass camera involved, okay? Let's be real. Like, not every single chick that said yes did so because they really wanted to go on a date with them when there's a big camera there. Okay, to be fair, I'm certain some of those girls legitimately would go on a date with him. But what it really is less than 19 out of 100, ill-defined, because there's no way all of them, despite all of that, would say yes. And what was even incredible about the fact is overwhelmingly the girls either had boyfriends or they just said no. Overwhelmingly. Even if the success rate is 1 out of 5 times, overwhelmingly he was told no. Think about that for a second. He ends up with this moral, this lesson here at the end of this.
Oh my... I knew I shouldn't have made this video. I knew I'd be too unlovable and no one would love me like that. I knew girls are too good for me.
No, Sam, that's not true. And I'm not just saying that because I'm you. If you look at that number, you're right. 19% is pretty bad. But you have to remember that 63% said they weren't interested in dating anyone right now, not just you. That means you actually got 19 out of 37 interested women to say yes. That's over 50%. And these people, they don't even know who you are. Imagine how much more interested they'd be in you if they knew the kind and loving heart that you have inside. Okay, that's a lie, your personality is kind of trash. But still, people were willing to give you a shot. And all of those girls that said yes to you, they're way more attractive than you. Heck, these were girls you wouldn't even be able to say hi to before, and now you've got the chance to take them on a date? That's a crazy thing, Sam, but even that is missing the point. You got over your fear of rejection in a single day, and more importantly, learned to love who God created you to be. Even if every single girl said no, you've learned to love yourself, and that's what's most impressive, Sam.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
For real, man, you've grown as a person, asked out more girls in one day than most people do their entire life, and you've set yourself up for the future. Which reminds me, which one are you actually going to take out on a date?
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. How in the flip did getting rejected constantly, with brief interruptions, finally get you to the point of learning how to love yourself? What really happened was you asked 100 women that you thought were attractive that you didn't actually have any intention on trying to date, with the expectant result of them saying no to surprise you briefly or interimly, as most of them gave you the expectant answer. You didn't get over your fear of rejection, you just began to become expectant of rejection, which, sure, might appear on the surface to reflect a lack of fear, but I guess, sure, technically speaking, it is a lack of fear if you have the expectation of being rejected, but I think that in and of itself might be its own problem in how we treat young men. I think it's a huge issue with how we treat young men and what we tell young men to do. Honestly, it doesn't make any logical sense to come to the conclusion that you're a valuable person after you're told constantly that you are not a valuable person. Sure, your value can't really be prescribed too much based on brief interactions with a woman with a little bit of game. That's entirely correct. And you probably shouldn't think too hard about being rejected offhand by someone you just met. You really shouldn't. It makes perfect sense. But the fear, the real terror that comes with approaching someone actually does not come with the expected result of being rejected. It comes from the anticipation of not getting what you wanted. What does that mean? I think Elliot Hulse really breaks this down perfectly. He's my man, so I'm going to let him go.
Friends. And in fact, if you really are honest with yourself, you're not trying to be friends with her, right? What are you going to do? Go play chess, checkers, basketball? Really, what you're looking for is sex. Most of the time when a man wants to be with a woman, talk to a woman, approach a woman, be friends with a woman, is because he wants what she got. And that's why we get nervous. If somebody has something you want and you go to speak with them, approach them with the agenda of getting that thing, now you have performance anxiety because you have outcome dependence. In other words, the outcome of that interaction is something that you're attached to, right? You need her to ultimately appreciate you or to accept you or to like you or to quote unquote be friends with you because she's got something that you want.
Elliot Hulse is essentially saying, if you didn't get it, that because you are result dependent on what the woman is going to say, because you want what she has, whatever it is, her validation, her love, her affection, or just having sex with her, you indeed put a lot of stock, a lot of value on her opinion or the result that you're about to get. Essentially, you hype yourself up because it's something you really want. So, the birth of disappointment or the creation of disappointment comes from high expectations, or any expectation for that matter. So when you get told no after hyping someone up really, really high, the result or the reverse crashes you back down to get more disappointment. However, if your expectation is really low, then so is your disappointment because it's what you expected. That is what really happened here, and it's something that happened to me after I constantly asked young ladies out or after constant cold approaching. And you want to know something? There's a reason why I'm not really bothered with rejection upon women that I just meet. And the answer is actually because of humility. See, here's the thing. I remember Uncle Iroh said something incredibly important that really summarizes this up. He said this.
But I don't feel any shame at all. I'm as proud as ever.
Prince Zuko, pride is not the opposite of shame, but its source. True humility is the only antidote to shame.
Only true humility is the antidote. Yes, I know, I just repeated the clip I showed, but it's important, right? To reinforce that. It's humility. I got to the point of understanding that when I am cold approaching a woman, there is a cold, hard reality. And that cold, hard reality is that I am a dick-to-dick salesman. I am trying to sell her some dick. And it's totally okay for her to look at me and say that she doesn't want dick from me and to say, no, I'm not interested. That's fine. That's fair. That's not a reflection of me. That's not a reflection of Sam. That's not a reflection of anyone. Except maybe you're just not attractive, or alternatively, you're not attractive to her. Because I have had success cold approaching women and, you know, doing stuff with her. Okay, I have. Okay, I've done it, all right? Here's the point. For as much success that I have had so many more failures. I have been rejected so much more. And it is a constant grind. It's not even just that, well, I wouldn't say it's a constant grind, but it just is a grind because I don't really do it too much anymore. I just only do it if I see a woman that I really find attractive. If I you know, it's not a number game to me. It's like quality. If she's quality, here's how I think about it. If I regret not trying, then I have to try. That's it. That's me, right? It's like I don't like go to bars and stuff because it's nonsense. Because I used to. And it was nonsense. You can't really spit game to a drunk person. Let's just be real, all right? Like, you can't spit effective, I want to be in a relationship game to you. You can only really just try to sleep with them. I don't like that. Not a fan of casual sex. Sorry, not into it, all right? So that's the thing, okay? Because the problem here is young men have to... We're told that we need to get used to being rejected constantly. And I don't understand why anyone thinks that that's really going to build character. Like, the buildup of character didn't come from me being rejected constantly. I built up my character first, so after getting rejected constantly, it didn't bother me. My character came before all of the rejection. But without that, without actually reinforcing yourself and having an understanding, a humility of recognizing that I'm not all that to this woman. I'm a stranger. And if she's well within her rights to ignore me or not want to indulge or engage, is fine. And to not be expected on the result, but appreciative of what I get. Right? That's what's healed me. That's what's helped me do it, right? Like, it's more important for me to try if I really find her attractive than to not. It wasn't being rejected 15 trillion times that I finally was like, oh, well, I am a worthy individual. I actually do have self-love and appreciation. How? How does that even make any sense? Does it make any sense at all that being told no constantly would get you to this final result that you have self-love and that you're okay? And then he did like some weird math to get to like interested girls to like a 51% rate, but that's not even, that was ridiculous. It didn't make any sense. They were probably lying. They probably just didn't want to hurt his feelings when they said that they didn't actually want a relationship at the time. Want to know how I know? Because women do that all the bloody time. Say all the time, I'm not interested in a relationship. 1 week later, they're with someone else. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month later. Well, he's just special. Well, he's just different. I don't know. He's just the sparks. The thing about it all is that as men, we have the social expectation of having to approach women. And if we don't do it, then that means we're cowards. That means we're not actually men. I find it rather interesting that that be the case, but you know what? Fine, fair enough. That's the cause we've been dealt, so let's play the game. We have the social expectation of having to approach and engage with women, but it's not enough that we have to do that. We have to do it correctly. We do it incorrectly, then we're creepy. We do it incorrectly, there's something wrong with us. We do it incorrectly, we end up getting friend zoned. So we have to find the sweet spot. We have to find the correct manner of which. But it's not enough to do that, because we have to do that. Find the correct sweet spot in an environment where men are told that they are awful people. They're creepy bastards for the most part. Well, creepy really just means ugly, but we're in this social environment where young ladies are told they need to be hyper-vigilant of us as men. Unless you're attractive, because then all of a sudden all that stranger danger goes out the window if the person's odd. I don't know how that one works, but The point is, it's not enough that we have the social expectation of having to do this. But then we have to deal with the social environment of being told we're crappy, terrible, no good people, and a sea of young ladies that simultaneously want us, but then are also afraid of us. And the only way we get past them being afraid of us is if we are attractive, as if that makes any sense, as if an attractive person can't do abusive, bad, horrible, terrible things. I fail to understand how the halo effect makes people so dizzy and silly. Oh wait, no, I do know how. It's because when you overvalue someone being attractive, you begin to make concessions for them because you don't find most of the people around you to be handsome or worthy to date. So when you finally find that one person, they're not just special because you finally found them. They're special because you don't think you can find anyone else. They've got the spark, they've got the je ne sais quoi, they've got the X factor, they've got whatever you want. And unfortunately, that leads to a lot of nefarious things being held open for people to be abused. It's actually not a really good system when you think about it. It's not a good system. It's not a good system to tell women that men have to approach them. And women are the ones who deselect them. It's not a good system to have men literally almost kind of have to like bargain for women's affection. Like they're like Doctor Strange. Tiffany, I've come to bargain.
No.
Aubrey, I've come to bargain.
I don't know you. So no.
Carla, I've come to bargain.
Realistically, no, because I'm interested in someone else.
Tabitha, I've come to bargain.
No.
Blake, I've come to bargain.
I have a girlfriend.
Kayla, I've come to bargain.
I'm talking to someone.
Brianna, I've come to bargain.
I'm pretty busy.
Aaliyah, I've come to bargain.
Boyfriend.
Catherine, I've come to bargain.
If you pay me enough, I think it's possible.
Jasmine, I've come to bargain.
I'm not interested in dating right now.
Blakely, I've come to bargain.
You're still really dating.
Justine, I've come to bargain.
I have a boyfriend.
Ariel, I've come to bargain.
No, because I also have a boyfriend.
Marisol, I've come to bargain.
Boyfriend.
Ashley, I've come to bargain.
No?
Brittany, I've come to bargain.
I have a boyfriend.
Kristen, I've come to bargain.
My rule is until May 19th, I do my MCAT, no boys.
Bianca, Tiana, Faith, Gertrude, Kara, Chastity, come to bargain. I've come to bargain. I've come to bargain. I've come to bargain.
I don't really know you.
Unfortunately, no.
I'm engaged. I'm also into women. Boyfriend. No.
No.
Danielle, I've come to bargain.
I like going on dates with random people.
You do this often?
No, like if they come up to me and ask me, like of course I'm gonna say yes. Like if they had the audacity to come up and ask me.
So, we were supposed to do that our whole bloody lives till it finally works. That makes sense to you guys? In conclusion, I don't think that this system is reasonable. A system where we have young men having to constantly ask women that are just normal people, that are just alright. Listen, even if these women were all Kim Kardashian clones, I'm talking about thick, curvy, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if every single one of these women looked like, I don't know, Lexi Learman, like one of these girls here, right? Even if every woman looked like this, like all she has is a fat ass. All she has is she's pretty. I don't know her, but I gotta get rejected by her over and over and over again. Fine, fair enough, she's a baddie. Except guess what? Every woman doesn't look like this. And even if they did, how does you being attractive mean that you're actually valuable? I don't know you, you don't know me, we don't know each other, but somehow you have this magnanimous value ascribed onto you that you're better than me, even though I have to work harder to maintain this relationship. I have to be a better person than you have to be. I have to be more self-sacrificing, and if something bad were to happen, there is the expectation that I will have to die to keep you safe. That's the relationship that we're bloody fighting for? And somehow as young men, we're told constantly that we're not enough for that? Listen, I'm not saying that every woman should say yes to every dude. I'm not saying that at all. In fact, I think women should probably spend a little bit more time saying no to the men they do pick, because apparently, based on the bloody statistics, women are more likely to end up getting hurt by the men they choose than the men that they don't. But we'll table that discussion for another time. What I am saying is that there's gotta be something better than this. Something better than being rejected constantly and being told and expected to just get used to it. To get used to a decade of trying hard to be with a woman, only to get thorns and thistles from it, only to get nothing but ash and dust in your mouth. There's gotta be something that gives here. Women being attractive can't be the only thing that gives them value, and men can't be people that have no value because they're not attractive either. That system, my friends, I think it's goofy. And to be quite honest with you, hilariously unsustainable. I think the proof is in the pudding as to how unsustainable this system really is. We've got all this technology, all these dating apps, all these avenues of which for people to be in relationships and talk to each other. And people are more miserable, more lonely, and have higher expectations than they really otherwise should. My friends, something has got to give here. With that being said, I certainly hope I gave you guys something to think about, and if I did, go and click the like button. And shoot, go and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comment box below. As always, you guys have yourselves a great day. I'll see you cool cats soon.